one that's going to move you forward. And so when you're dreaming big and you decide that you don't want to settle, what you believe about yourself, this is what my coach tells me. What I believe creates my thoughts, which creates my feelings, which creates my words, which creates my actions. It all begins with what you believe. So whatever you believe about yourself, that's the thoughts you're going to have about yourself. That's the feelings you're going to have about yourself. That's the words you're going to use about yourself. Words are energy, they have a lot of power, and that is the action that you are going to take. It's really something that's totally and completely all up to you. And it's up to you based on the power of choice. So when you've made a decision that I don't want to settle, that I'm going to dream big, that I'm going to be more than what I have come from. How many remember the movie Titanic, Avatar, Terminator? We know these movies, but the film director behind them is James Cameron. Now, he grew up in Canada, in this little small town there. And he said, there was nothing in my town that said we could do anything of significance. But there was also nothing that said we couldn't. So regardless what people tell you you can or cannot do, this is where your power of choice comes in, and you make a decision about what it is that you want to do. Because everyone was born to dream big, you're born to be successful, you are born to be magnificent. That's what you're born to do. You're not born to just exist and just to live life. You want to take it to the next level. And guess what? There are people waiting for your big dream to happen. The reason I know that is because the clothes you're wearing, it started with somebody's dream. You went to the store, they had the dream, they supersized the dream by marketing it. It went to the store, you went to the store, or somebody went to the store, and they bought it. And you now have it, and you're wearing it. Everything that you see, everything that you touch, has started with a dream. Now, I also understand that when we are in foster care, sometimes we don't have the highest goals for ourselves, we don't have the highest image for ourselves, and that is because some of the situations that we've come out of or some of the situations that we're in. But as I talked about earlier about the past, I just want to step back a little bit regarding the past. The elephant that's in the room, some people try to just, let's overlook it. I remember growing up and you would hear things like, regardless of what has happened, just keep moving. Don't worry about it, just keep going. Well, part of that is true, but you need to tell me how to keep going, how to keep moving, and what do I do? How do I make that happen? And one of the ways that you have to make that happen, you have to acknowledge. I acknowledge the things that happened to me in foster care. They happened, and they're gone. They're done, and they're over. You do have to make peace with your past, because if you don't, it will keep showing up in your present life. Okay? We know him as Tyler Perry from some of the movies, Meet the Browns, Marriage Counselor, House of Pain. Well, I don't know if you know, but he had a traumatic childhood. And he says, my gift was formed out of the madness of my childhood. But he didn't allow that to stop him. He didn't settle in that. He didn't stay in that mindset. He got up, he got out of it. There was a time when he slept in his car, and all the while, he was thinking about the plays. They were in his head. He was thinking about the movies. He was thinking about getting them on big screen. He didn't know that he was going to have the success he has now. He said that part just happened. But the first part was that he took his childhood and the madness that happened, and he made it work for him. And that's what you can do. Take whatever things that happened to you that seem to be negative, turn them around, Make them work for you. I had to do that. When I was told, stop asking so many questions. Basically, it meant stop talking. So I did. I stopped talking for a year. And for that year that I stopped talking, if you asked me a question, I basically nodded my head or, did some kind of gesture that would give you the understanding that I heard you. But I stopped talking. But what I did, I started reading books. And to this day, I read loads and loads of books. But that person that told me I asked too many questions, and that caused me, because in my little mind, between the ages of 7 and 9, what I heard was, you're not important, you're not significant, and whatever you're saying has no value. So, my stop talking at that age, what it did for me was that when I became an adult, I made the decision that nobody was going to control what I said. Nobody. I started the radio show. That's the reason it's called Find Your Voice, because I lost mine. I had to find my voice. I found my voice. It helped me in a lot of things. So that situation, what it did for me, like what it did for Tyler Perry, I now sit in boardrooms with CEOs, CFOs, doing negotiations, talking and doing things. Why? Because I made the decision that what I had to say was important. And here it is, I get paid to do it. I get paid to do it. Do you know how much money Tyler Perry makes off of one movie? People are now running after him. In his house, he has, 1,000 pairs of shoes, because when he was a child, he never had shoes. He had that one pair of shoes that had the hole in the bottom. Take the things that seem to be adverse, take the things that seem to be bad, take the things that seem to be negative, and make them work for you. Don't use them as an excuse. You have the power of choice. It's your choice. It's up to you. You have this word today. They've done this exclusively, especially just for you. This is like going to the White House. The red carpet is there. It's just for you. So you should give yourselves a hand for showing up today for what's just for you. So in order to dream, I have one piece I need to do. So you know how we talked about, the terrible things that can happen in your life? Now, so what do I have here? Do you want to drink water out of this? No, it's dirty. It's been used. You don't know where it's been. You don't know what you'll get if you drink out of this. So usually we take this and just kind of toss it to the side. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope we put it in the blue recycle bins. So we put it in the recycle bins, but nevertheless we consider it as garbage, right? But somebody else looks at that garbage and they decided to make something out of it. I went to a conference in January of this year, and there was a lady that took plastic bottles and made purses out of them. This purse is made from 100% recycled plastic bottles. She took it, garbage, and decided to make money. And she's selling these for a hefty price. I happened to get this one on the clearance because it was missing a little tag. And they were beautiful, but I thought, ooh, that's a lot of money. So I keep saying it, and I'm going to say it again and again. Wherever you are in life, whatever has happened, let it go. When that lady told me to stop talking, when they told me I was going to be another foster care statistic, at that time, you know what I had in me? I had a book. I'm an author. I didn't know it then. They didn't know it then. I didn't believe it then. But circumstances pushed me to prove and to make it work for me. So whatever dream you have, you've got it on the inside. What makes your dream happen is that you have to get clear about your life. You set your priorities straight. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't be on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other ones?
Twitter.
All of the other ones. But I am saying don't make it your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Make your own life your priority. You define your dreams, and after you do those three, then you're ready, set to go. And I'm closing. I'm going to tell you a really quick story. There's a story of it's called The Eagle Who Thought He Was a Chicken. So there was this baby eagle that became orphaned because something happened to its parents. And it glided down from the nest and dropped onto the ground. When it dropped onto the ground, a man was walking by and picked it up and took it to a nearby farmer. He told the farmer, he said, "This is a great chicken. And this is a great bird, I'm sorry." He said, "and you're going to be glad to own it one day." The farmer looked at it and said, "Don't look like no barnyard chicken to me." So he took it and casually put it into the chicken coop. Well, the eagle continued growing, going through life, and he grew, and he imitated the chicken. So he would, peck the ground, eat the worms, do everything chickens did. One day a veterinarian came by, and he looked and he said, "That's the eagle." And he went over to the eagle, he lifted it up and put it on the fence. And he said, "You're an eagle, fly." The farmer was standing by. The eagle looked at the vet. He looked down at the chicken coop where he was comfortable and jumped back down. The farmer said, "I told you it ain't no eagle, it's just a chicken." The veterinarian came back a couple more days, so he came back this one last time because he knew the nature of the eagle. He said, "Okay." When he came back the last time, he took the eagle and the farmer up to this very high mountaintop. And he put the eagle on his arm, and he looked up to the sky and he pointed. He said, "You belong to the sky. Spread your wings, your eagles, and your wings and fly." This time, the eagle looked to the veterinarian. He looked up to the sky where the sun was, and he began to straighten himself out. And his wings started moving just a little bit. Then they started moving a whole lot. And all of a sudden, he took off, and he began flying. And he went to the sky where he belonged. My question to you, are you going to be a chicken and stay on the level of the earth? Or are you going to dream big and fly where you belong? Don't settle, dream big.